morning to everyone. A warm welcome to His Excellency, Professor Jagdish Mukhi Sir, the Honorable Governor of Assam. It is our proud privilege that His Excellency has given us a wonderful opportunity to release the book Ecology, Environment and Conservation, which has been published by the Center for Environment, Education and Economic Development in collaboration with the Department of Zoology, Cotton University. We are really grateful to you, sir, for giving us this opportunity. We would also like to welcome Professor Alok Kumar Buragohain and Professor Subhash Khanna, sir, for gracing this occasion as the guests of honor. May I now request Dr. Arup Kumar Hazarika to felicitate His Excellency. Now I request Dr. Uma Datta to present His Excellency with a beautiful bouquet.
Andy jacket means Andy Eri sir, Omia Eri.
Now I request Dr. Rezina Ahmed to felicitate Dr. Alok Buragohain. Next, I would like to Dr. Torali Koshta to felicitate Dr. Subhash Khanna, sir, with a gamusa. Again, I would request Dr. Rezina Ahmed to felicitate Sri Sanjeev Buragohain, sir, with another gamusa. May I now request, I would like to take this opportunity to ask Dr. Hazarika to introduce the book to this gathering. May I now request our guest of honor and editor of the book, Dr. Arup Kumar Hazarika, to come forward for the ceremonial release of this book.
We'll introduce the book first. A very good morning to everyone present here. His Excellency, the Governor of Assam, Professor Dr. Subhash Khanna, Professor Alok Buragohain, Sri Sanjeev Buragohain, Head of Department of Zoology, Cotton University, Dr. Korobi Soikia, Sri S.N. Bhomik, academicians, research scholars, and others present here. I'm Dr. Arup Kumar Hazarika, the editor-in-chief of today's publication. I'm pleased to welcome you all to today's function to release Ecology, Environment, and Conservation. I thank you for consenting to our request and making time to attend this ceremony. I would especially like to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Assam, Professor Jagdish Mukhi Sir, for whom this ceremony is possible in this historic Raj Bhavan premises, and have given the valuable consent to release today's book. I'm really happy to inform you all that the cover of the book, that is of great ecological significance, and that very idea of putting that in our book was conceived by a renowned photographer and the present Commissioner and Secretary to the Governor, Sri Sanjeev Buragohain sir. The book is published by ALA Publisher on behalf of the Center for Environment, Education and Economic Development, which is recognized publisher of Raja Ram Mohan Roy National ISBN Agency, Department of Higher Education under the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. Ecology, environment and conservation, or precisely the biological diversity or biodiversity, underpins the functioning of the ecosystem, and provision of ecosystem services is essential for human well-being. It provides for food security, human health, clean air and water. It contributes to local livelihoods and economic development, and is essential in terms of achieving Millennium Development Goals, including poverty reduction. Concern for global problems related to natural resources and the environment like climate change and biodiversity decline have resulted since the 1970s in numerous international agreements aimed at preserving natural resources, their renewing capacity, and the quality of the environment. The conservation of biological diversity encompasses many of the international agreements on the environment. It has three objectives at global level: the conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use of its component, and fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of utilization of genetic resources. This book has been prepared in response to a request from several academicians and international development for research agenda to provide the critical information needed by decision makers in formulating policy and designing programs for conservation of biodiversity. The focus of the book emerged from organizational meetings at which it was agreed that three areas of conservation: economics, cultural affairs, and biodiversity must be taken into consideration. Biodiversity is greatest in the developing nations of tropics, where development agencies and practitioners expand considerable resources. Through self-examination or persuasion, these agencies are now coming to view conservation as the integral part of the development process. The case, however, needs to be strengthened, especially in times of constrained resources and competing demands. All of us must be interested in conservation locally, regionally, and globally, because industrial countries use and control disappropriate share of the world's resources. They must participate in implementation of sustainable development in tropics and elsewhere if a new and more enlightened conservation ethics to be taken into consideration. Biodiversity in developing countries cannot be conserved under the long run unless local peoples and national economies simultaneously derive social and economic benefits. This will require not only improved method of resource management and the creation of products and markets, but the development of economic paradigm involving new institutions, incentives, and policies. Thus, it is expected that academic writing of this kind will play a very important role in catalyzing the role of the biodiversity conservation. In this book, Ecology, Environment, and Conservation, each contributing author has tried to indicate avenues of research that may be helpful to preserving biodiversity and ways in which development agencies can support the people and institutions that study and manage it. This book does not contain a complete action plan or technical research program, nor does it present a detailed discussion of importance of biodiversity or reasons for its loss. Rather, it presents a research agenda in areas considered of critical importance to the conservation of biodiversity and a discussion of their relevance to the sustainable development. In this present book, we try to bring together researchers, academicians, policymakers, doctors, engineers, and politicians to build a common platform to disseminate the concept of conservation of the environment at large. We tried our best to involve writers across the world in a limited period of time. His Excellency, you'll be happy to learn that we in the process of completing the book project have involved the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Sarbananda Sonowal sir, Honorable Education Minister Sri Siddhartha Bhattacharya to write the foreword of the book. And I'm really glad to inform you that in spite of very busy schedule, our Honorable Health Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has also contributed a wonderful chapter in this book. We have received chapters from Dr. Subhas Khanna, who is a surgeon, very busy surgeon. He is Chief Medical Director of Swagat Endo-Laparoscopic Institution, Professor Alok Kumar Buragohai, former Vice Chancellor of Dibrugarh University. And we have also received chapters from the Professor, University of Hubbard, University of Cambridge, University of Alaska, University of Tennessee, and of course, most valuable articles from the faculty members and research scholars from different institutions across the country. Thus, together we must contribute and continue our efforts to not only achieve the mission of the different strategic frame plans for biodiversity, but the social, economic, and environmental goals of sustainable development, and to achieve the human well-being in the harmony with nature. Thank you very much.
May I now request our guest of honor and editor of the book, Dr. Aruani'S,
যাও খালি ভেটিং
Give a big hand.
I was really attracted seeing these three words, ecology, environment and conservation. This would give me just an impression it must be a very prominent book regarding conservation, etc. Especially taking the global changes into consideration, I thought this may be of use for all academicians or administrators. I had not the copy of the book with me. I cannot comment on the subject matter of the book. But as Mr. Hazarika has explained to it, I am impressed it should be not only a book for academic purposes. And I can comment only after going through this book. But the efforts which have been made by all of you, I hope this should be of good use for those who are planners, administrators, even academicians, researchers. I pay my greetings to all of you who have come over here. I feel happy among the company of the academicians, all of you, all the work they enjoyed. I pay my good wishes for the success of the book and wish it to be a fruitful document for all sitting in the administration planning about that one.
Thank you very much.
So after hearing His Excellency's speech, we are very much inspired that this book will really help him encourage us in more activities. So we extend our heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency, Professor Jagdish Mukhi, Honorable Governor of Assam, that he has given us his invaluable time and taken this opportunity to help us release this book. We would also like to thank Sri Sarbananda Sonowal, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Honorable Cabinet Minister of Finance and Head, Government of Assam. We'd also like to thank Sri Siddhartha Bhattacharjee, Honorable Cabinet Minister of Education, for their kind contribution towards this book. We'd also like to thank Professor Mihir Kanti Chaudhary, Advisor, Department of Education, Government of Assam. We'd also like to thank Sri Sanjeev Kumar Gohai Borwa, who has also helped us a lot, especially in designing the cover of the book and shown us his wonderful photographic collection. We also extend our thanks to Professor Aruani'S and Professor Subhash Khanna and Sri Assam for being our guests of honor. We specially thank Professor Scott B. Edwards, Harvard University, USA, Professor Daniel S. Simulov, University of Tennessee, USA, Dr. Man Borua, University of Cambridge, England, along with all our contributors from here and abroad for extending their support and enriching this book with their valuable works. We thank the faculty of Department of Zoology, Cotton University, and finally the officers and staff of Bhvan for their unending support in conducting this event.
Now the program is almost over. It will be followed by a national anthem, and now you are all requested to go for a cup of tea. Thank you very much.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गावे तब जय गाथा।